Hello, listeners. My name is Charles Scott. Here we are again this week, and I'm here with Charles Scott Jr.
Junior. How you guys doing? As you see, it's another week, another time for another episode of Can We Talk? But remember, you're not limited to just what the TV is showing you. Go online, go to Facebook, go to YouTube, TikTok, type in Can We Talk Tri-State Realty. You'll see dozens and dozens of episodes.
And I want to thank all of the listeners that have actually been tuning in and watching our episodes. As my son just said, we have quite a few episodes. So if this is the first one that you're tuning into, go back and look at many of the other ones that we have. You can go on YouTube and you can see a lot of the other episodes. We've been able to enlighten a lot of people talking about credit issues, talking about buying a house, selling a house, the economy. We try to make this a program that's very informative to give you some information that can help you in doing some of your daily financial planning and some of the things that may not only help you and assist you with real estate, but maybe getting a job, maybe getting an apartment.
Yes.
There's many things that we talk about on this particular program, but you know, a lot of it has to do with, you know, the big catchword right now is called wealth building.
Yes, wealth building and also different things that help you with what's going on with the real estate market. I'll say that's one of the best steps to wealth building is owning your own property. Because remember, as we've seen over the last 3 years with the pandemic and everything, rents have been going up, up, and up. I will say, if you've seen the last couple episodes, I say they're plateauing, but even though they plateaued out, they're still pretty much higher than a mortgage, I would say.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of seminars are coming online now, and the big catchword, as I said, is wealth building. You'll notice that a lot of the people that are made a lot of money, they started out with real estate, investing in real estate, buying one or two houses, and then a multi-family house. And then what they do is they pyramid it and buy more and more, and they build wealth. And it's something that you can pass down from yourself to your family, to your children, and something concrete that you could give them. Plus, on top of that, you know, what happens is that when you've got maybe one or two apartments, it's a good indicator to show your children how to, if your kids are small, they can drive around with you and show them how it works to collect rents, to manage money, to be able to manage a business, start up a business, and then pass it on to them. A lot of this, or not only a lot of this is what they don't teach you in school.
They don't teach you how to buy a house in school. They don't teach you how to balance a checkbook. They don't teach you how to manage credit card debt. Those are things you have to look out for yourself. But luckily, we got YouTube University. Go on YouTube. It teaches you all that right there. Or you can watch us. We have little tips also.
You just mentioned the word there, checkbook. Most of the younger crowd today and the Gen Zers, they don't know what a checkbook is.
Checkbooks don't exist anymore. It's all Cash App and Zelle.
They don't know what a checkbook is. Many of us old timers out there, you know, we get the checkbook, we write out a check, we tear it out, we put it in the envelope, we send it off with the bill. Most of the younger people today, they don't know you push a checkbook in front of them. If you said you could write out any check amount that you want, you wouldn't have to worry about it because they wouldn't know where to start.
They wouldn't know where to start anyway. Very true.
Where it says to put the money, they'd sign their name.
I just want to remind people out there, if you watch our episodes before, you should get a checkbook just in case you are in the market for looking for real estate. Because although I will say checks is old school, you do need a check when putting an offer on the house. If not a money order, money orders are more frustrating to go to the bank back and forth for a money order. If we have a checkbook, you can put an offer in on, I'll say, that house right then and there.
Not only that, I had a client the other day that purchased a property, and they said, you know, should we get a checkbook for the property? And I said, yes, if it's an investment property, you want to, write down when you pay all the people that do the work for you, you're going to give them a check. They don't walk around with a MasterCard machine or a Visa machine. And when you pay them cash out of your pocket, you can't use that as a tax write-off off of your bills. But if you give them a check, now you have a record that they got paid.
Exactly.
It shows how much that you paid them. And you may order some supplies and then they receive them and they're wrong. Well, you can cancel the check or cancel the payment that you made out to them. So if you do everything over the internet and you, boom, instantly they got the money, you might not even get the supplies.
Yeah, very true, very true.
So that's just another tip that, we want to make you aware of. the catchphrase is wealth building. In this program, we try to show you ways of building wealth. We are not financial advisors.
Not at all.
What we tell you, you cannot go out and say that it's 100%. We give you advice, or we'll give you the sources as to where you can go and get that information.
Exactly. I say we give you tips, we put you in the right direction, and then have you go towards that goal.
And with anything, one thing about government, a lot of people talk about government, a lot of people badmouth government, oh, the government this, the government that, but like I've always told everybody, it's a two-edged sword. In other words, the government is there and it puts in regulations, it puts in boundaries, but at the same time, the government is there to encourage, free enterprise. Because the way you look at it, everybody's motivated by money. And even the government, when they give away something, they're still motivated with making money from what they give away, believe it or not. And how it works is this. What the government will do is the government will give a corporation money, grants, tax breaks, tax abatements. And the way the government looks at it is like this. If you buy a piece of, like I explained this just to someone last week, they were in the office and they were talking about taxes, and I pulled out a tax bill and I said, see this tax bill? I said, even I have to pay taxes. Once a year, the city will ask me about what supplies have I bought in the past, any equipment that I have. Do you have a new copy machine? Have you purchased a new desk? What is the value of it? And they take all of the items in my office and they figure out the value and they send me a bill. They say, you're going to get taxed on that. It's just like a car.
Yep.
For many of you out there that have a car, you get a tax on your car every single year. So I get a tax bill based on the equipment that I have in my office.
Correct.
Now, I'll admit it's small because I only got so much equipment in my office. But what if I were a corporation and I wanted to buy a big piece of equipment that cost $2 million? Because I said, oh, this piece of equipment is going to make me a lot of money because it will automate things and I'll be able to produce more goods. But then I say, look, if I buy this $2 million piece of equipment, the taxes might be $100,000 a year.
Yep.
So I think I'll just hold off on that because it's too much taxes. So then you have a state or the governor say, oh, for anybody that spends $2 million on this certain piece of equipment, we're going to make the taxes very low because we feel as though if we let this person buy this piece of equipment, then he's going to hire more employees because he will be able to build his business. Rather than have 2 factories, he might have 2 factories, 3 or 4.
Exactly.
So therefore, if he can hire more employees, we'll let him buy this piece of equipment and we won't charge him as much in taxes. Now, you might say, oh, the government's giving away money, but here's the catch. They know that if this person hires another 100 employees, then the employees are going to pay taxes on the money they make.
They're going to pay the highest tax bracket compared to the entrepreneur or the business owner.
So the government makes the money back, even though they took a loss of $100,000 in that piece of equipment by not charging taxes. They figure out, well, what taxes are 100 employees going to pay? By that person buying that equipment, hiring more people, now the government brings in $300,000 in taxes off of the pay of those people. So in a way, they gave away something, but they got it back in return.
Exactly. Now, for those of you who don't see yourself owning a corporation or giant, big company in the future, remember those same rules can kind of apply to property ownership when you're paying your mortgage each month. Remember, at the end of the year, you can write off some of those costs that that went to your house that year, whether you did improvements to the roof, improvements to the siding, or anything.
Right. If you don't take like the flat deduction or standard deduction, and if you got investment property and you want to take and itemize, then it's like any other business. You had to pay money. Like if you bought a 3-family house that 3-family house, you're supposed to treat it as a business. The problem is that most people, when they buy multifamilies or they buy investment properties, they don't treat it as a business. It's a business. That's the reason why you bought it in the first place.
Exactly.
You did not buy it as a nonprofit. Did you say to everybody up and down the street, move in, don't worry, you know, you don't have to pay rent. It's, you know,
Well,
the
technically, some
goodness
people,
of my heart.
some people do buy a house to move the whole family in. And although the family isn't paying market rate rents, they may be paying below market rate. Good luck getting that steady rent flow coming in, because when it comes to family, I'll say things get a little muddy.
I would say the number one reason why real estate agents list properties in a lot of the multis is because the owner of the property, who's the family member, lets all of his family move in, and then they don't want to pay rent because it's family. And then what happens is they end up arguing back and forth, back and forth. And I hate to say it, it even happens in some cases where you have mother and father and the children all moving back in.
Yep.
I've had a family where mother and father, or the mother, maybe a single mom, got a big house and maybe got 4 bedrooms, and all the kids moved back into the house, and she doesn't know what to do, and it's costing all kinds of money. They're not contributing to the bills. They're not paying anything towards the lights, the gas, the telephone. It may even be someone out there that I'm talking to right now, and I could see you smiling and laughing. All the kids are living in the house. Nobody's paying anything. And so as you're laying down thinking at night, you're saying, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sell the house.
Yeah, you can sell the house, because, you know, people that have these houses now, you're probably getting those emails or letters in the mail saying, look how much equity you've gained since 2020. A lot of these houses have gained about 30 to 40% equity. And for those of you who may not realize it, you could be selling the house and making a profit.
Not only that, you know, the thing about it is that when they come into the office, and even if the child is accompanying the parent or something like that, when the child goes out of the room or something like that, they say, Mr. Scott, I only want a 2-bedroom house. I said, 2-bedroom? Yeah, that way they can't move back.
Yeah, right.
I only need 2 bedrooms for me, and if someone, but I don't need 4 bedrooms anymore.
4 bedrooms.
Don't get the 4. I said, I want to downsize. I want something smaller. I'm not buying a house for everybody to move back in.
Yep, very true.
So people get motivated by different reasons.
Different reasons.
Is what I'm saying. And if you're out there and it's, you know, I'm talking about you, then that's something for you to consider, because it's not a matter, sometimes it's like you gotta, you know, make it so that you make it uncomfortable for your children to get out there on their own and start, you know, doing some work, you know what I mean? I remember, what was it, Reverend Franklin, it was a song saying, the eagle stareth the nest. And I always remember that. And it was the comparison was, the eagle steers the nest. And I said, what does that mean? And I heard it explained to me. When you take the eagle nest and you got all the straw in there, and the little biddies, when they're born, they're in the nest and they're very comfortable. And so every now and then the eagle will steer the nest up so that the straw wouldn't be flat, it'd be sticking up, the points. And when they lay down, they get all these little prickers sticking in them, and you steer the nest up so they get uncomfortable. And it's like saying, I don't have to put up with this. I'm leaving.
They fly out the nest.
And they would get up out of the nest and they would fly out, because the eagle would steer the nest and encourage them to go out on your own. Well, sometimes when you got a house, you got to steer up the nest. You know,
exactly.
Get them a little excited and make it a little uncomfortable. They start going out on their own. And they started looking into finances and learning all these different things. So,
and I must say, with this year being 2024, this is one of the best times to buy a property, because, I mean, especially I'll say for my Connecticut residents, because there's so many programs out there right now, especially one specifically we talked about last time called Time to Own. And Time to Own is giving out, what, $25,000 up to $50,000 to help you with your down payment and your closing costs, which seem to be the biggest obstacles when it comes to buying a house.
I just, before the taping of today's program, I was with this individual. They're getting $25,000 to help them with their down payment and their closing costs. This is money that they do not have to pay back.
Forgivable.
Forgivable money. If, you know, they have to stay in the house for a period of 10 years, and even if they stay less, they still do not have to give all the money back. But if they stay the required time, that's free money. But what it does more than anything is it makes it able for them to buy now, because
Yes.
they did not have that $25,000. They have money to well afford the mortgage. In most cases, most people are paying more for rent than they are if they got a mortgage. It's not unheard of to be paying $1,800, $2,000 for rent.
I will say one example you saw last week. People come to put an offer on a house. You know, they bring their checkbook. Remember to get that checkbook. They put what, $1,000 down, like the minimum. They rely on time to own. Think about this: if we're going to get an apartment, I do a lot of apartments. If you come to get an apartment in this day and age, a lot of landlords are asking for 2 months' rent. So if the rent is $1,500 a month, you still got to bring an additional $3,000 with you. You're bringing $4,500 with you cash or a certified check to that closing. That's more money than you need to put a down payment on the house.
For the house.
With the time to own program.
So think about that. In some cases, it can cost more to rent the apartment than buy the
Yes.
house. The problem is that most people don't have the other money. Once you put down on the house, then you got your closing, you got your lawyer, you got your appraisal, you got your
Titles.
inspection, you got your title, you got the insurance. So all of this adds up. That might be another $10,000 or $12,000.
Very true.
And then the down payment. So if you're getting that free money and that's included in there, hey, you put down a little $1,000, the rest of the money can be added to pay all of that. Now that enables you to be able to purchase the property.
Yes, yes.
So-
and this is real. I must say, this is a real program.
Real program.
I've seen the checks coming from CHFA, Connecticut Finance, Housing and Finance Authority, and it comes from them, and it's forgivable. For every year that you stay, 10% comes off the loan, and it's real money.
And when we say 25,000, there's two different types. One is 25, one is 50,000. If you're buying in an area where the prices of the homes is higher, and they have a map, then they will give up to 50,000.
Yes, up to 50,000.
If you're buying in certain areas of Fairfield County, like Trumbull and Fairfield, and those areas, you can get up to $50,000 of free money to help you buy a house.
Yes.
Now, let me also say, it may not be forever. It's until the money runs
That's what I was
out.
going to say also. This program has been funded multiple times, but it's not saying it's going to always be funded. I mean, now it's a strike now when the iron's hot, while the program is still active and has a good amount of money in it.
So how can you not even look into it? I mean, it's like if you're not aware of an opportunity or you don't know what an opportunity looks like, it'll walk by you and you won't recognize it.
Yeah, I was going to say that also because remember, this is a program that, they're advertising it, but if everyone hears about it at once, the money's going to instantly disappear.
Right.
So right now it's kind of like word of mouth. We're telling you, time to own.
Right.
It's kind of in the name. It's time to own a house, to own property.
We're giving you a description of that opportunity. We're telling you what it looks like, what the facial configurations are. We're putting the picture right in front of you. So now, and then we're telling you that the opportunity is right there. So all you got to do is take the initiative to say, okay, let me look into it. Maybe for some reason or another, you might not be ready right now, but it doesn't take anything to look into it, to make a phone call. You see our number right down there. You can give us a call. You can ask us about it. We can give you some more information, put you in the right direction. There's only a limited amount of banks.
I was going to say that also.
You can explain that.
Remember, give us a call or go online, do some of your own research. I wouldn't recommend you calling your bank or your mortgage person just because there's only a specific list of people that are qualified to use this. Not saying that they wouldn't steer you the wrong way, but they want to keep your business. Remember, shop around for your mortgage. They say to people shop around for vacations and cars more than they do the mortgage. And the mortgage is going to be with you for 30 years if you stay there. So why not shop around for the lowest rate you can find and go on the CHFA website and see which banks and lenders are approved to use the time to own program.
Exactly. Your bank may be on that list, but you
Yes.
don't know until you even, do the initiative to look to see and ask questions about it. Or if your bank if you're talking to whatever bank it may be, just say, hey, do you have the time to own program? That's the name of the program. And say, oh, I don't know, because it could be a mortgage person that works within that bank that may not even be aware
might
of the
even
program.
know.
They might even have the program. Maybe they're dealing with the people that come in and put $50,000 or $100,000 down
Exactly.
out of their pocket, so they don't need that extra
And also,
money.
like you said there, this is a program you do have to qualify for. there are income restrictions. So they want to make sure that you qualify for the program.
And when you say income restrictions, sometimes people think it the wrong way. Instead of meaning you need to make a whole lot of money, just the opposite.
Exactly.
If you make a whole lot of money, you don't qualify.
This is to help people who wouldn't normally have the money saved up for a down payment or closing costs, to help those in need.
This is for people out there that genuinely they want to provide a home for. Now, remember I just made that comparison about the eagle stare at the nest, and they want to make it uncomfortable to get you out of the home, and the government gives you money, but they got a motive of why they're giving you money, because they're going to make it back. Well, even with the time to own, the governor of the state is getting a lot of flack, and a lot of people are complaining. The people that have the company. Remember, I told you that corporation got that $2 million piece of equipment. Now you got to go out and hire all these employees. Well, now when he goes out to hire all of the employees, if the employees say, well, or the human resources department says, Mr. Business Owner, we're having problems finding employees because it's so expensive to live around here. We don't have the people. So the state of Connecticut is saying, let's make it affordable for people to live here, and that way we'll draw in all of these people that will live here, and then they can provide the labor force for that gentleman to be able to run his company.
Exactly.
Because the people, if you have a very expensive neighborhood, and let's say, for example, let's take an example, Greenwich. Greenwich is one of the highest per capita and the highest cost of, if you got to pay $1 million to live in a house, then you ain't got too many workers living down the street when it costs $1 million, $2 million just to buy the house.
Exactly.
Most of those workers are working up in New York or Manhattan or lawyers, so they're not going to work in that company for that corporation that just bought that piece of equipment. So the governor wants to encourage the average middle income person to be able to buy a house so that he can live within the neighborhood and work within the neighborhood. You got policemen, you got school teachers, you got firemen, you got public officials that you need to run the city. So therefore, you got to make it affordable for these people to be able to live in that city. And in order to do that, that's where time to own comes in, to encourage the people to be able to live within the community in which they work.
And also, they got to get an ease on the rent. Like I said before in a couple episodes back, remember the rents are so high right now because people that should be living in houses are renting. They don't have the money to put a down payment down. Maybe they thought that buying a house is out of their league, is too expensive. So with this program and other programs that'll be coming out, is just encouraging home ownership, because right now people are renting that should be living in houses. And what that stress does is it makes it go up, 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 and up, and makes it more unattainable, I would say, when it comes to saving money.
Mainly, we're trying to encourage people out there in the state to give us a call, let us explain this program to you. And, like I said, luckily they've put more money in there.
They did.
And we're trying to shout it out from the highest mountain. Look it. Come and take advantage of this. Give us a call. Find out what's going on.
And we've gotten about a few people through this program.
Yeah, more than a few.
Yeah, we know how to navigate it.
And on the same side of that, for the sellers that are out there, in other words, we need to provide some properties for these buyers. If you're looking to sell your house, now is a good time. You can give us a call.
I would say now is the best time to sell your house, because right now, like I said, the inventory is still very low. But we're looking at the courts. We're looking at the courthouse. There's a lot of foreclosures coming in through the streamlined market right now. And when those foreclosures hit the market, remember, it's going to lower the price of your house by default, because there's going to be more houses for people to choose from.
And right now, you have a lot of people out there that should be getting what they call market analysis. That's, I'd say within the last month, I've done a tremendous amount of market analysis. Now,
how much are you charging each for each one of
those? It's free.
Oh, that's right. It's free.
Free.
It's free.
Yeah, it doesn't cost nothing.
To get a CMA from Tri-State Realty.
Free. We don't charge
no
any
charge
money.
At all. You call.
No.
Like, you may say my phone has a Zestimate, but remember, your Zestimate doesn't know about that new refrigerator or new dining room that you put inside the house. Remember, you need us to see inside the house to give you a true CMA to say, okay, this is what your house will probably sell for on the open market.
Yeah, most of those downplay the value of your house, so
Yes.
it's not, when we
Like
go
an
out.
algorithm.
Oh, sure. I did one just last week, and did actually 3 over the weekend. And in most cases, the people that put something on a Zestimate, or they
Yeah.
just put something on a piece of paper without even seeing or have the house, those come in lower. When I get out there, it's like, oh, I added this in, or I put new flooring in.
Yes.
I got new cabinets since then, because they only go by when you bought the house. Say you bought the house 10 years ago. They got a photo of what it looked like 10 years ago.
Very true.
Now, in the 10 years that you've been in there, you've improved the property, so the property's worth more money than what they say it's worth. So that's, and what we call a CMA is called a comparative market analysis.
Yes.
That's where we come out and we do like an estimate. It's not an appraisal of the property, but we do an estimate to give you a fairly good idea of what is your property worth in today's market. What would it
I would say in today's
resell?
market right now, because remember, when you get that CMA from us, you're gonna get past sales, current sales, see what's going on in the market right now. All these algorithms are going off past data. We're going off the current data, live data, I'll call it, that's going on in the system right now.
And you might just want to be curious and a little nosy.
Yeah.
Want to know what did my neighbor's house sell for?
Yeah, right.
What are those? What's that house over there? How much did it sell for? So when I come into and give you that analysis, I'm going to give you all of the houses within your area and what they sold for. How many bedrooms did they have? How many bathrooms did they have? What improvements did they make on their house to make their house worth what it's
Yeah,
selling
we'll bring
for now?
pictures too, because remember, you look at some of these houses, you're just seeing the outside. People are doing some extraordinary things inside these houses, where they're doing I'll say the gray wood floors, the stainless steel appliances. They're using a lot more quartz than marble. Remember, marble and quartz, people may not know, save a little buck on quartz versus getting a marble slab. So we're seeing a lot of different designs in these houses that make it look very, very appealing.
The other thing that I can do while I'm there is to give you ideas to make your house worth a lot more than it actually is right now by some slight improvements.
Yes.
Certain things that you can do. You might have dark brown cabinets. Maybe you don't need new cabinets. Maybe if you get a glossy white, bright white paint, and then you take and you paint and put new golden knobs and on those cabinets, or silver, boom, night and day.
Yes.
And how much did it cost you? Maybe $100 versus $1,000 to $2,000 or $3,000, $100.
Exactly.
You know, your flooring, you might want to put some Luan down and then put some maybe a laminate down, make it look really nice. It's another improvement that I could give you 15 different ways in which you could improve your house on a shoestring budget.
I was going to say shoestring budget.
Shoestring budget, where you don't have to spend a lot of money, and you could take that house, put some bright lights in there, brighten it up, open the
Yes.
windows up. So, give me a call. These are all ideas that I can help you with. Free money, free market analysis, get you
Yes.
into a home or sell your home, put it out there. But look at the number there. Give us a call.
Give us a call, or like I said, go online, type in Tri-State Realty Bridgeport. We're available. You can send us texts, emails, Facebook. So, I would say if you want to close it out,
And until next week, God bless.
amen.